Hey, my name's Kamela and I'm with Creative Moms Decant. So I'm letting one of my favorite things out of the bag today. I have been learning this for a long time and not felt confident to film a video, but someone asked today and now I really am just like, oh my gosh, I have to show. So this is me, this is my unfinished selfie, and now I want to show you what we're going to do. I'm going to show you how to create something that you found. So let me show you what this viewer has found and wants to learn to create with Procreate and an Apple iPad. Let's go.
You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me.
This was sent to me by Maria. This is what she found on Pinterest. So congrats to Priscilla. If you're the one who made this, this is an awesome, inspiring photo. So I'm going to drop you back down on my iPad and I'll show you how I would do something like this. Alright, so once you're done blurring, you're just going to grab that wet acrylic brush and then play with it. And it's going to be key in getting some of those big pops of color that the design had. So you're going to play with your sizing, but you're going to want to bring down and play with shading. So bring in some lights. And then we're going to switch to the pinks and do the same thing. And it's going to be all about blurring together. You can also use motion blur. Again, I like to use my pencil. It just kind of blurs your lines a little bit. But it's all about your blurs and then your wet brushes. So let's go down and get that white down here. That's the hardest one to me, if you ask me, to get. And sometimes the best way to get your whites back would be go to your eraser tool, and grab also a paintbrush. So I'm going to go back into painting and I'm going to grab that wet acrylic brush again and bring some of those bright whites up from the bottom. And there's definitely some right here. And again, just blur those in. And if you want the more paint streaky stripe in the green area, go back to your green and that wet brush. And a narrow brush, it looks like to me, as it comes down here. And so I'm just squiggling it in here. And then a little bit wider and up. And then if you need to, go back into the blur and blur those together. I would definitely blur them. I may even go and grab the brighter green in a different size brush, and it's a matter of playing there. I don't think I quite had a big enough brush actually for the space that I have for this. Whoop, now that's too big. There's a brush stroke in and a brush stroke up. And then it was a firm brush stroke this way, but that's too wide. So firm on the iPad and bring up. That's too narrow. Let's find a happy medium. There we go. Alright, so firm and bring up is how you get those paint strokes. And it's definitely a practice thing. I absolutely love to draw in the evenings. And it is definitely my me time. So I don't usually record the videos because it's my me time. So let's go back to the blur and blur that a little bit here. This one is my favorite one to use. I use it a lot. And pencil and 60% is a good area to start without anything getting too harsh. Maybe blurred in here too. And again, if that's too much green for your design, just go in and add the other colors. It kind of, now that I look at the picture, I needed to add some more of the blues down in here. And so I can wave those in with that wet acrylic brush the same way. And I can really just play with these brushes all night long. So let's go a little bit brighter here and then blur that in. I'm going to go a little bit less on the blur because I want to keep those purples, and I was kind of losing them. Or blues, purples. It's definitely got a nice light blue over here. Let me go back to my blues, and again I might even go and find just a little bit lighter one, and I always tap them to the side, which is how I end up with 5 bazillion palettes. But for the price for Procreate, it's a fun app for drawing. I have first generation Apple Pencil, nothing fancy. I mean, it's Apple, but the first generation Apple Pencil. And I do highly recommend the sketching. So my screen here looks a little dull, and that's because I have the sketching screen protector on. So, but it's really just playing with these brushes and playing with the options. And for any of you who are just watching me play with Procreate, Procreate is a fun app. Let me know in the comments if you want me to make more videos. And I hope I somewhat answered your questions and taught you something about using the blurs. And of course, the famous double tap undo. Have a joyful day. Good luck with your design. Bye.
With an illusion, like a spell.